Chris, Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 here, presented by Steaks. We are reacting to Arkansas's loss to Creighton in Hawaii last night. Here's my first reaction, Blake. I think if we knew Ryan Kalkbrenner was going to play 38 minutes, we might have talked about that game a little differently yesterday.
But I said at the end, I said, look, if you're...
Well, you did, but when they were talking about it sounded the way that they talked, that his ankle was
I mean, if you
really
watched
hurting
it, like
him.
the guy hurt his ankle multiple times in the game the day before. And what was it last year? Didn't he had an injury in the let me find this real quick. He had a knee injury and missed the rest of the tournament. That's right. He was the one that had the knee injury in the game against San Diego State, which it's kind of a weird circle all the way back around, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a knee injury, and I think he, was out a couple months in the off season. But yeah, I mean, the guy you watched the game before, like he rolled his ankle a couple times, and it seemed like there was a lot of thought that he may not play, and that's what we said. I mean, we said there's a difference if this guy's on the floor and he's not on the floor. It's significant, especially from the defensive aspect, but still, certainly it's not a guy who couldn't score either, which he did, right? He scores 21 points, had a couple blocks. But yeah, I mean, you take him out of the game, Arkansas wins. I don't think there's no question. And I think that was a game where, oh man, like where do we even start? Here's what I'm going to start with because we're not a hot take thing, and everybody who watches this should know if you subscribe to our channel. We're not hot take guys, but here is something I will say that may come across as hot take-ish. I don't know if the past 2 seasons Arkansas got to the Elite Eight, right? The past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I ever looked at those teams, even in getting that far, as teams that could win it all. This team, when Nick Smith is back, I think is good enough to win it all.
Yeah.
Now again, that's I know that can sound hot take-ish, but and I always say, right, until you get the tournament bracket, don't tell me who can win it all and who can't. Don't start giving me Final Four picks until I see a bracket. But if you're talking about a team, the way it is equipped, with all the pieces, I think Arkansas is good enough to win the whole thing because, and remember, we're seeing all this without Nick Smith, who is going to
Yeah.
be a top draft pick. And I think when you think about that, and once you add him into the mix with Anthony Black and what he's done, Ricky Council, Trevon Brazile, how many big shots did he hit in that game last night? He had a couple big threes.
How about
late.
the dunk he had right before
And the
half?
dunk. Yeah. They've got so many. I mean, Jordan Walsh, Davis, Mitchell. I thought even going into this tournament, you kind of looked. And what did I say before the season? I said, guys, I was like, you understand how this works. You may need to give this team a little bit of time. No more. I'm backing up on that one because this team is way ahead of schedule, and I think Creighton's good enough to win it all. And I'll tell you this: like I've always kind of been someone at times that have said, "Man, Creighton, I just don't know. Can they really make that jump to be a national championship type team?" Greg McDermott's a good coach, but what I saw last night is 2 teams that are good enough to win the whole thing, and that was one of the better college basketball games I've seen the past couple of years, just because they were going toe to toe, and at the end of the day, Creighton just finds a way to pull it out. So,
okay, here's what I was thinking this morning as I kind of rewound this game in my head. Is there a guard in the league being the SEC, that you would trade Anthony Black for right now?
I mean, I'm trying to think. Like I'm looking up and down the board here. I mean, a guard. Yeah, probably.
I mean,
Vescovi's
maybe your best guard in the league. To me,
I wouldn't.
I think I'd rather have Anthony Black.
He's struggled off he struggled from the beginning, so I don't think that would go that route. No, I mean, I think Anthony Black's the guy. And honestly, my answer to your question would probably be Casey Wallace would be the only other guy that I would put in that category. And there are 3 guys, maybe, Chris. Casey Wallace, Anthony Black, and Nick Smith. And we haven't even seen Nick Smith play yet.
Yeah,
so it's like
Smith
but
can't
I mean,
count yet, right?
But that's the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They have both of those guys. And they're all freshmen. So Yeah, no, these past 2 games, you've seen what the upside is with this guy, and again, I just think it's my goodness, it's just going to keep going up once Nick Smith is there. So
Okay, back to the game itself. I guess the hot topic was the ref show going on last night, or whatever you want to call that.
well, I you know how I operate, okay?
Yes.
I try to stay out of the referee discussion, but I'm also not unaware of when I watch a game, there are things that don't go in your favor at times.
Well,
And I
look, I
mean,
mean, they're calling all the fouls. Musselman's hot, and then you got the official all the way across the court, diagonally from him, stopping the game, yelling in to sit down. I'm like, come on.
I mean, I I've watched SEC basketball for a long time, and I see this every year with different referees and guys, and it doesn't surprise me anymore. Um, but yeah, I mean, I get it. Arkansas fans were not happy with the
Well, look,
officiating.
they were in the Creighton was in the bonus with I think 14 minutes left and the double bonus with 12 minutes left. When you get in a tight game against a team that can shoot free throws, that's a big ask from there.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I
And
look,
and
like I
look,
said,
and let me
it's
be clear one more thing. Arkansas did some dumb thing, like the grab foul by was it Davis, where he just grabbed the guy's going by him and he just hooks him in the around the waist. I'm like, what did you do that for? So like Arkansas is not blameless in this, but it was as soon as you saw the sequence of fouls happen and the technical, you're just going, oh boy, this is going to be a tough one for them to win at this point.
yeah. I mean, and look, like I said, I get it. You could certainly point out some things. That did not go in their favor, and I know you're not meaning it this way, but I also don't want to take anything away from Creighton because I think that's a
No,
like I said, I
that's a
think
really good team.
that's a great team, and but yes, you can certainly, I'm sure, a lot of frustration for Arkansas fans with how some of that played out from an officiating standpoint, and understandably so, I think. But yeah, I mean it. Yeah, I get it. It was part of the game, and was not probably your favorite part of the game if you're an Arkansas fan. So.
Are you surprised? I mean, I guess I shouldn't be. He does this every year, but we went into the season thinking this was a really deep team. I mean, and in a setting where you're playing multiple games in multiple days against good teams, that bench was really short last night, man.
Not shocked because I said before, the thing is with Muss, you've seen this happen to where, I mean, think about this, right? Like you go back to his teams at, I'm trying to think, what was it, the team at Nevada? Um, I mean, he basically played 6 guys. And like that, I think that team, what was it, the year that, oh boy, I'm trying to think, was the year they were in Nashville here for the tournament. They made those 2 wild comebacks. Yeah, I mean, they basically played 6 guys. I'm looking up the roster here. But yeah, I mean, that I'm not surprised. Like in big games, and it's not just Muss who does that, but there's a lot of coaches that'll do that. You have to shorten your bench, and because every possession matters in those kind of games, and you say, oh well, that's kind of going beyond it, but it really does. Like in these kind of games, it is like every possession is a significant thing, and so I'm not shocked at all that he decided to roll with those guys because look, those guys I mean, they were all playing pretty well, and Council plays every minute. Black only comes off for 2 minutes. Davis 2 minutes. Jordan Walsh played 36. Brazil plays 31. And you did have, like we said, some foul trouble in there too, and so still being able to navigate that, I think is significant in that regard, but. Yeah, man, it's
I mean, you've got 4 or 5. Well, and you've got 3 or 4 guys on this Arkansas team that barely play or don't play at all that could start for multiple SEC teams. Like you could take what they're not playing at Arkansas and put at least 2 or 3 of those guys in the starting lineup for Georgia, for Carolina, for Vandy. I mean, this team has got talent in reserve, I think. I mean, Jalen Graham was a big part of what Arizona State did a year ago. He doesn't even play.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I maybe, like I said, it may be able to do that. Because I mean, we talked about it. We always say that, right? It's like when
Yeah.
you think about how
We
many
said it
guys
last
that.
year too.
Well, that's the thing is when you bring in as many guys, they're going to bring in each and every season. somebody's going to get left out, and that's just how it works. Because you can't play everybody, and so I think that's, I just think that's part of how it works. But yeah, I mean, I know we're talking about this as though, in a sense, you feel like Arkansas won the game, but I think, there's no moral victories when you've gotten a program that's gotten to the Elite Eight in back-to-back years, and now they're going to get ready for a San Diego State team that's not bad either. Arizona just happened to be better last night in that game, but so yeah, I mean, it's another big opportunity I think here for Arkansas. I think it's always challenging to get up for that game on the third day when you lose a game the way they lost against Creighton. And again, like you said, I mean, they played basically five guys that played 30 plus minutes. And so, does that come into play? We've seen that before too. Stamina and that sort of stuff. But this would be a huge win for Arkansas. I know it's
Yeah.
disappointing to lose to Creighton, but beating San Diego State would be a significant win on their resume moving forward. So yeah, this is one that, again, I know there's going to be that initial kind of dip, I think, in momentum, but they need to come out ready to play in this one because this is kind of another sort of toss up type game. I think with the way San Diego State plays defense, and um, yeah, I just think it's this would be a nice win to have. So,
All right, before we wrap it up, a quick word from our presenting sponsor, Stakes. Predict sports better than the crowd. For a chance to win NFTs with Stakes, players can cement their sports predictions against friends, other fans, and influencers forever. Don't let your sports genius go overlooked. Join Stakes and have the best predictions captured in the moment. Go to playwithstakes.com/14. Use our invite code Southeastern14 for a double welcome bonus. In fact, I've already put a thing or two in the Stakes app for the football game with Missouri, including who gets more rushing yards, Rocket Sanders or the whole Missouri team. So that's one that you can put a pick on.
go do that, Arkansas fans.
And I took Rocket Sanders. Anyway, just saying.
Hey.
Okay. What else as we wrap this one up?
Well, yeah, like I said, I think it's, for Arkansas, I think you come out of this game disappointed that you didn't win, but I think you come out of it with like I said, I came out of it and not just reacting to one game, but you've seen it, I think, in, the first 5 games this team has played. They are further along than I thought they would be. The chemistry is there. I still think there's a couple things they can tweak. I still thought they took some bad shots at times in different moments. When they really needed a bucket, they may have settled for a jump shot here or there. But you know what? We're going to say that about a lot of teams this season. It's just how it works. But they also hit some big shots, and I think you're starting to see, like I said, a Trevon Brazil being able to make threes. Obviously different guys hit big shots. We know the Anthony Black situation. This guy can take over a game, and like I said, once they get Nick Smith back, think about how teams are going to stay up at night trying to figure out how to defend both of those guys on the perimeter. I just think that they are a very tough team in terms of how they play defense. I think they're going to be a tough team in terms of how people figure out ways to guard them. Because like I said, I don't think they're going to be an elite shooting team from outside. They hit some threes, big threes in this game at important moments, but they're still going to be a team that I think, has to get to the rim, draws fouls, but they also have some guys that can step up and make some jump shots. And we'll end with this, Chris. If I'm Arkansas, I am pleading to play the rest of my season at the Maui Gym Maui Invitational because those rims, I would love to get out there and just take some jump shots on those rims. Can we get those rims all around the SEC? Because we'd have a lot more higher scoring games than what we're seeing now. Those things,
they're a little loose.
Yes, I mean those things they're bouncing, and then boom. Like, come on, that's where we need all of that. Like, give us the 120, 115 games. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, give us the rims, but not the refs. How about that?
Oh, look at that. There's a shirt. Rusty, I know you're listening. Give us the rims, not the refs. There's a shirt. We're going to put that up. We'll talk about that in the live stream tonight.
All right. Well, we always have fun at our channel. Don't take us too seriously. In any case, yeah, thanks for watching. A ton of basketball coverage coming up, a ton of football coverage coming up. I mean, to be honest, I can barely keep up with everything going on.
Hey, Chris, by the way, we are the appetizer for Arkansas San Diego State tonight because they start at 9, which will probably be a little bit later than that. So come watch our live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Central. And then from there, go watch Arkansas play San Diego State. And Creighton fans, you came in yesterday. We appreciate you coming in and watching the preview video. Had some nice Creighton fans chime in. You guys,
Creighton, you
are
got
gonna
a
have a great team.
really good team, a really good team.
So they'll be in the championship. You can watch that too while we're doing our live stream tonight.
Yeah, Nebraska's an underrated place.
There you go.
Should that be
There
a
you go,
t-shirt?
Bill O'Brien.
Probably not.
Matt Rule. Bill O'Brien, Matt Rule. Do you hear that? Nebraska's
My wife is from there.
Underrated place.
I spent a lot of time in that state. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching us here at Southeastern 14. Yeah, we got so much stuff coming up. I can't remember it all, but don't forget the live stream tonight at 8. Best way to get that, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything we do. And again, there's a lot of things we're doing right now. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon at Southeastern 14.